Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to live coverage of the fourth and final week of the fourth season of the Club 100 Gran Turismo Sports Series. Apologies for the slightly messy start to the stream. We're running a little bit behind schedule. Well, let's get straight into the action this evening. Round Brands Hatch for the start of 10 minutes. And if I move that button up there, fingers crossed, I'm joined this evening by someone who should have been racing, but unfortunately is injured. We'll get onto that in a minute. It is the one and only Kirith Cart himself, Kirith Callirai. Kirith, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Hopefully you can hear me.
And you're coming loud and clear through to us. 4 minutes of the qualifying session to go. We'll have a quick look at standings in a second, but Nathan Maxman is top of the timesheets at the moment. Luke Battersby second. Javier Gorostidi Turner in third. Kirith, to kick things off, explain to us, what have you done? What have you done? How come you're not racing this evening?
Well, I mean, we were all at the Daytona 24 Hours this weekend, racing in real life. You were in the commentary box there. I was racing with Ruswell's here, VQS Nathan, Walmid, Eric Mignon in Lobby 2 as well. And unfortunately, the only way I could describe it, Andrew, is there's not a lot of skin left on my right hand on the palm side, so rather than leave the rest of it on my wheel, I thought I might have to unfortunately bow out of this last round here, which does mean I'm missing out on this ridiculous spectacle of the Red Bull Juniors going around Brands Hatch, which just seems absolutely absurd. But yes, slightly sad for me, but glad I can join you in the commentary box, hopefully try and give some insight on how the championship has gone this season.
Well, we're very, very glad to have you. In terms of this car, as we're 2 minutes and 48 away from the end of the session, let me know if my levels are all right at your end, Kirith. But this car, how has it been to drive across the course of the last 3 weeks? It's looked quite tricky.
Yeah, so I really struggled at Fuji. And I really enjoyed it in Spa. That had an unlucky moment as well. It's an unusual combination because obviously the car has ridiculous amount of downforce, but then we're racing on the racing hard tyres, which are, don't have a lot of grip. So you can carry a lot of speed through the corners, but if you just carry a bit too much, then you can slide. So it's been the trickiest car I found to drive in all 4 seasons that I've done the championship, because there is so much grip available. But as soon as you go outside that window, as you can see, Ryan Sandel here on my screen, he's having a terrible quality session by the looks of things, has gone wide on one of the last corners of the track, and that's just what it is about. If you push it too hard, then you lose all of the downforce. It's brutal, and I've really struggled with it, to be honest.
There's been a bit of an incident I can see on my screen. Luke Battersby's had an incident in the latter stages of the circuit. I think he collided with somebody else there. But yeah, Ryan down in 6th place at the moment, trying to get some heat in the tyres. You can see him on my screen. Just over a minute and a half to go. He's got 6/10 to find, Kirith. He's got to hook this lap up quick. He's been on some great form over the last couple of weeks, but it is all on the line tonight.
He's only going to get one more lap, Andrew. He's just missed the cut-off there. It's one more lap, and this is huge for the championship. If Ryan can't get a good lap in here, and I can see he's got GTP Toby ahead, he might get a little bit of slip, but this is huge for Ryan and the whole championship, this lap here.
Well, let's stay with him, because as we say, this is the driver who won both. Well, I say won one of the races last week. I'm mistaken now when I say he won both of them. He won both in week number 2. He did have a 3 race streak broken by Nathan Maxman in the second race last week, but crucially 2 points is the difference between Nathan Maxman and Ryan Sandel going into this round. So the good thing I guess for us, Kirith, is that it pretty much guarantees that this will go down to the second race this evening.
Yeah, of course we had that drama last week with the penalty for Nathan Maxman with that strong move up the inside of Callum Brule at Seaside. I haven't got the split timings here, so I don't know what's going to happen with Ryan. I'm just on the edge of my seat. Only about 10 seconds to go, and we'll find out if you can salvage it in the session.
Well, he's coming into the final corner now. It looks like a clean and tidy lap for Ryan Oswald Sandel. Over the line now. Where is he going to qualify? He goes quicker, but he stays in 6th place, half a second off Nathan Maxman. Let's see where Nathan is around the circuit. I'm not sure if he's still on a flyer or not. Tim Clark, though, is Ryan Sandell's teammate, has done a good job. He's up there at second on the grid. So, what do you think? Can Tim get in the mix there? Would Tim be looking to try and help his teammate here tonight?
Well, the funny thing is, Tim has always been very strong in the tyre wear races. Tim has just improved his time they're going out of Sector T. I didn't have him down as someone who would really shine in these high downforce cars, but I think he's looked really strong this season. I think they've looked the strongest team, Tim and Ryan. But Ryan will be hoping that Tim can really take it to Nathan and slow Nathan down so Ryan can catch up through the pack, because Ryan's got it all to do now.
He has indeed. Coming into Clark Curve now, the final curve. This will be the last chance for Tim Clark to try and take pole position. Team Blue in the lead of this team championship by 30 points over Team Orange over the line, but I don't think he improves. It's still second place is pretty good.
Oh, very close to Nathan there, wasn't he?
Looks like Nathan Maximin has pole position for this 7th race of the season. Tim Clark in second place, third for Luke Battersby, fourth. Great qualifying again from Javier there. I've been really impressed with how Javier's taken to this this Premier lobby. Kirith, he's had a big step up this season.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like he's improved through the season as well. It would have been great to see him teaming up with Super GT, because that was the team. I think they would have actually, in hindsight, been possibly the team to beat. But yeah, great stuff from Javier, getting promoted last season and really mixing at the top now in Lobby 1.
Trevor Randall qualifies in 5th place. Great to have Trevor back this week. We missed him last week. Ryan Sandell, as we say, in 6th, 7th for Jack Cameron Drayton, 8th for Callum Brawl, and 9th for Toby Nichols. Very, very close in this lobby, but it's race time here, Kirith. Who's your money on for this one?
Well, I'll let you know after Druids, because I think that could be a mess, to be honest. But if you had to pressure me, I mean, Nathan Maximin, he won the whole Daytona 24 Hours in the N35 class. He's on a high, so my money is on Nathan to make a big statement here and actually win by a distance.
Here we go then, Brands Hatch, the scene of round 7 for season 4 of the Club 100 Gran Turismo Sports Series. 20 minutes on the clock here in the spec race. Nathan Maximin, huge points.
Start from Ryan. Start from
Ryan. Absolutely spot on there, and that's compounded matters. That's already shot him down to 8th place, but Nathan Maximin's got a fantastic start ahead of Tim Clark there in 2nd place. 3rd for Luke Battersby. Tim Clark already on the defensive there, Kirith, trying to hold on to that 2nd place, and it's 3 wide as they go. Oh, there's a bit of contact behind as well. I think Javier's having to fight through there and hold on to 4th position ahead of Trevor Randall, but a great start there for Nathan Maximin.
Yeah, potentially watch him drive away here. He's already escaped the toe of Tim Clark, so Tim Clark is not going to have the slipstream, and he's coming under pressure from Luke Battersby. Huge moment in this race with Ryan Sandell having that false start. He's got a mountain to climb now, but there is 20 minutes to go.
Side by side between Ryan and Jack Cameron Drayton. Ryan trying to go around the outside, he's off, and he's in the gravel, in the grass. This is not going well at all for the Season 1 and Season 2 champion. Toby Nichols trying to go around the outside there as well. It's chaos at the far end of the circuit as they go around Hawthorns and Westfield. Well, this is real drama here, Kirith, and already Ryan Sandell has got a huge amount to do.
Bad to worse, 10 seconds off the lead now. He does have a bit of clear air, so he does have an opportunity now to just clear his head, catch up with Callum Brule and get back into it, but it's going to have to be an absolutely mega drive for Ryan to basically salvage this season.
Yeah, absolutely agree. On board with Luke Battersby now in 3rd place, trying to attack and defend at the same time as they go into Druids on lap number 2. Tim Clark still holding there in 2nd place. I don't think there's anything you can do about Nathan Maximin's pace at the moment, so this is all down to constructors now, trying to score as many points for Team Blue as possible. Hope you're all enjoying the stream here this evening on the Double Dash Motorsport Media YouTube channel. Great to have so many of you in the comments. So many comments, I can't read them all out. We'll catch up with you guys in a bit. But Tim Clark, good couple of corners there as we went through the Indy circuit. Out back onto the Grand Prix loop over with Pilgrim's Drop through Hawthorns.
I couldn't have foreseen this. Just such a bad start from Ryan. I don't know if he's feeling the after effects of the weekend, Andrew, because he did say he was feeling it after coming out the car. He did 6 hours, but look at Nathan go. Just Oh, Nathan's dropped back. There's been a mistake from Nathan.
Yeah, let's try and see if it's there on the replay. Here he was in first. Oh, he's gone completely off as they went through Westfield. And, well, wow. You say that about Ryan and having a little bit of fatigue from the Daytona 24 hours at the weekend. Maybe the same there for Nathan. A loss of concentration, and he's lost the lead.
Great opportunity for Tim Clark now to stretch his legs, because Nathan has got Luke Battersby for company. And having raced with Batters this season, he can be very aggressive when he needs to be. All within, the rules, but what a topsy-turvy race! I don't know what this means for the championship. I haven't got a live update. I can try and do some quick maths, probably fail, but absolutely mega stuff.
I think he's going to be extending the lead. It's Nathan Maximan's 2-point lead going into this race, so in some regards he doesn't mind not winning the race when it's not Ryan Sandel ahead of him. He's still pulling out points over Ryan at this stage of the proceedings, but the top 6 here covered by 3.6 seconds. There's your teammate Kirith, Callum Brule. He's had a bit of a topsy-turvy season here in season 4, but he's right in the mix there, just up behind Trevor Randall.
Yeah, I think Callum has been very unlucky this season. He's looked really good in the Red Bull Junior, so hopefully he can catch up Treviso. I did see Ryan flash purple there, so Ryan could be on track for a fastest lap. He's getting back in the groove. He was 10 seconds behind the leader, now it's 7.5, so he's gained 2.5 seconds there. But yeah, hoping for a good result for Callum. He really deserves it. He's raced very well this season.
Yeah, and the critical thing as well, that extra points, like in Formula 1, available for the fastest lap of the race, could be really, really key tonight to decide where this title goes. And did Ryan get that fastest lap, Kirith?
He didn't in the end, because I think Nathan went even faster.
So it was a 1:20.870 for Ryan last time around. For Nathan, what was it? Looking like a 1:20.392.
Yeah, lightning quick, and great insight from Murray Adams in the chat, saying Ryan needs him to back them up. No doubt they'll be on the radio. And because Nathan often doesn't join the team radio, he likes to be in his zone, but Tim and Ryan will be there. And yeah, Tim is getting pulled back into Nathan. Nathan's now back in the slip, just got back in the slip, so it's going to be a battle now for the lead.
Baz 68 makes a very good point. It is very, very difficult to overtake around this Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. It's a proper old school circuit, narrow, no tarmac runoffs, so it is the kind of circuit that if you were going to play a tactic of trying to back everybody up, you would be able to do it with a high degree of success. Coming over the line then, 14.5 minutes of this race to go, on to lap number 5. Tim Clark leads here at Brands Hatch. Nathan Maximan, NM1M there in second place, coming fresh off a great success with BW Racing at the Daytona 24 Hours and Daytona Milton Keynes earlier this weekend. Penalty for Luke Battersby that he's got to deal with, that 0.5 seconds. So I don't know if he's track extended somewhere out there on circuit, but that'll be in the back of his mind, Kurt, that he's got to get rid of that penalty before the end of this race.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how easy it is to lose in the Red Bull Juniors, because you're off the throttle much less because they can carry so much speed through the corners. I saw Callum Brewer's also picked up half a second, so I'll keep an eye and see how much of that they can burn. But at Brands Hatch, not a lot of places you can naturally burn the penalty, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a great circuit, very, very committed all the way round. NVIDIA Gorostidi Turner there in 4th place. 5th place still Trevor Randall. Callum Brule's got 0.4 penalties again. It does look, crucially, Kirith, as if Ryan Sandel is starting to catch back up. He's only 1.2 seconds behind Brule.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what happens here, because Tim Clark is doing a great job up front. Nathan has dropped back out of the toe. I wonder if the dirty air around Brands Hatch is very difficult to drive in, or Nathan is just happy sitting in that gap. But obviously you have the dynamic of Tim Clark being Ryan's teammate. But Nathan hasn't really caught up with Tim Clark and made those moves to get past like I was expecting. He's still 6-7 tenths behind.
Yeah, it is a thing we've seen in a number of races so far this season. Thinking back to week 1 when we raced around Fuji, this car can struggle in the dirty air sometimes. This is another fast-flowing circuit in a similar regard to Fuji, especially its first 2 sectors, just a little bit further back there GTP Toby Nichols racing for Team Orange in 8th place. Jack Cameron Drayton racing for Team Red is in 9th. So I think there's something's happened out there for Jack, because he was winning, I think, as high as 6th earlier on in the race.
Yeah, hopefully Jack and Toby can kind of team up and get back in the groove. Like I was saying earlier, I really struggled in these cars. I found them very difficult to drive, and once you're out of that groove, can be a bit of a nightmare, but always good to... Oh, Callum's gone wide. Callum's gone wide. He was ghosting there.
Yeah, got him on screen now, 0.2 of a second. So Ryan Sandel closing in. Let's see if Ryan can set something up into the first corner, the famous Paddock Hill Bend. He's got a good run, Kirith, as they head towards Paddock Hill Bend. Can he go up the inside?
I think he might try and say... Well, that was good to see far at the hairpin as well. If he doesn't make a move here, I mean... Oh, Callum's gone wide, okay.
Yeah, Callum,
I think Callum made it a little bit easy there.
Position. So under braking just loses a little bit there, and that crucially allows Ruswold Ryan Sandel through into 6th place. Gained him a couple more points in this championship. Meanwhile, still at the front of the field, 11 minutes of this race gone so far. 0.6 of a second is the lead for Tim Clark over Nathan Maxman. And oh my goodness, out in the grass there a little bit was Nathan. He is pushing really, really hard this evening.
This is very interesting, Andrew, because Ryan is now catching up with Treviso, who I don't think has had his best season this year. I'm not sure he's that comfortable in the Red Bull Junior, because he is playing on a pad, most of the drivers on a wheel. If Ryan can get past Treviso, there's not that many positions between Ryan and Nathan, and again, it could come down to fastest lap.
Could indeed, and Luke Battersby, Batters Racing Company, has still got 0.4 of a penalty to deal with. There is Trevor Randall in a livery and a homage to Nigel Mansell, of course, who had many a good day round this Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit back in the 80s.
Ryan's really catching him hand over fist. He's eating into that gap.
About his time wear on. No, not for this race. We will see a little bit of that later on in the choice race. And Kirith, give us an insight, as we're kind of in the calm stage of this particular race. That Group 4 race with the different rules, how have you found those this season?
Well, I found it really tough, but I think I made a rod for my own back going with the Audi TT front-wheel drive car, engine at the front, really choose up the front tyres. My teammate Callum Brule initially went in the McLaren, and then after the first race changed to the BMW. I think Javier Gurusini Turner did the same thing, incurring the points drop. The fact there's been changes of the cars shows that it's been a really tough race to work out strategy-wise. For me, I just can't quite make it to the halfway distance without losing a lot on the last lap. So to the extent to which you can nurse the tyres and save the fuel. But to put it simply, there's so much more strategy involved in race 2 than any other race we've had in the previous 4 seasons. It'll be my first time watching it, not racing it, but I'm really interested to see the tyre wear amongst different cars and who's looking after the tyres, because I think that will make all the difference when it comes to the last few laps.
Absolutely, it's produced some really intriguing races to watch so far in this 4th season of the Club 100 Gran Turismo Sports Series. Ryan Sandel is continuing to close in on Trevor Randall and is really starting to hassle the back of the Ferrari liveried machine. Turn left now, hard left through Surtees and uphill towards Pilgrim Drop. Back onto the Grand Prix loop now, away from the Indy circuit. And what do you think is going through Ryan's mind here? Where do you think he's going to try and make this overtake, Kirith?
I think he'll be looking at that big red delta on the left-hand side of the screen and see just how much time he's losing. He might go through here, no, drops back inside. See how much time he's losing to the leaders. I think he's lost a second in the last lap. He tries to go around the outside there, wow. The more time he spends battling with Treviso, the less likely he is to catching up with Javier and Luke Battersby for the meaningful points. So he needs to get this done ASAP. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get his elbows out.
Yeah, he really does need these points, and he needs them quick, otherwise he's going to have a lot of work to do, and he's going to be out of his control later in the evening. Trevor Randall had a good run there out of Clark Curve. Let's just check quickly check back in with the leaders. There is Tim Clark, still holding that gap from above kind of what, half a second would you say, Kirith, out to a second. He's doing very nicely at the moment.
I wonder if Nathan is just managing that gap, to be honest. If he thinks if he has a battle with Tim, Tim might make it very difficult and they might drop back and let the two drivers in the white team catch up. Because you'd think Nathan would have the pace to really get up in the gearbox, but he's taken the decision not to do that, and that might be a smart one. He won't be able to see the gap back to Ryan. The Delta doesn't work that way, but Ryan is losing a second a lap here to Nathan, which is huge.
Absolutely. As I say, third place. Luke Battersby still there. Still has that 0.4 of a second penalty to get rid of. If he has any of it left, he will incur a 10-second penalty at the end of the race, which is why it's important to get rid of that. But he's still got 6.5 minutes to do that. Javier, fourth place. And look at this, Ryan Sandel is right under the rear wing of Trevor Randall now. Can he get a good run through Clark Curve, keep in the slipstream, keep right under the rear axle, and have a go into maybe Paddock Hill Bend, maybe Druids? Once again, Trevor Randall is very strong, Kirith, off of Clark Curve there.
Yes, an absolutely great launch. I think what we're going to see here is how much does Ryan really want to win this championship. We saw Nathan got a penalty in the last race going up the inside of Callum Brule, and I think it'd be fair to say that Nathan has been more of an elbows out driver than Ryan. But if I'm brutally honest, I suspect Nathan probably would have made a few more moves here than Ryan has done. Ryan has been a bit more respectful, but he's really paying the price. That gap is going to be 10 seconds shortly. He's got a great run here, Andrew.
Yeah, he has indeed, but surely Trevor Randall will just hold to the inside.
Can go around the outsides. Wow.
And I think he's got it. Yes, he has got it. What a move that was by Ryan Sandel. Big, brave stuff around the outside through Hawthorns. I don't think I've ever seen anyone manage an overtake in these Red Bull Juniors round there.
That is a huge move. The commitment there, and fair play to Treviso for not squeezing Ryan. And you can see just how much time he's gained now already. He's 1.4 seconds ahead of Treviso. But he's running out of time, Andrew. He's only 5 minutes left on the clock. Realistically, can he get any more positions? He'd have to make a second a lap.
Absolutely, yeah. 5 minutes to go. He really does need these points, and he could do with the fastest lap as well. How are we looking on the fastest lap situation at the moment, Kirith?
Still Nathan from that early lap, I think on lap 2 or 3. Nathan probably will have the wherewithal to see that Ryan has freed himself from Treviso. So whether Nathan will now go for a fastest lap to kind of shore it up, I don't know. If he thinks his car might be vulnerable to Ryan. Whether Ryan can do it without slipstream, I don't know as well. I'll keep an eye on the delta times, the split times.
But it looks like you're absolutely spot on, Kirith, because all of a sudden Nathan Maximin has closed in this gap and he's practically pushing Tim Clark around Hawthorns Bend, right on the ragged edge, out in the grass again. I think you've got this spot on, mate. He thinks now that he's seen Ryan get up into 5th place. He's clear now of the Ferrari, and he's got to get through now. He's got to get through quick and take maximum opportunity, because at this rate Ryan could finish in 3rd place, and if he's in 3rd place, do you think there could be a swap as well between the team blue cars? Could Tim Clark pull over on the last lap, pull a bit of a Rubens Barrichello to Michael Schumacher from back in the day, and get Ryan up to 2nd?
What does Tim Clark do now? Does he want that race win? There haven't been too many race winners in this championship. I think Tim Clark might have won one in the first season, but I don't think he's won too many since. The other interesting thing is Luke Battersby hasn't lost any of that penalty at all. He's still riding with 4/10, so at some point he is going to have to slow down and burn that penalty.
He is indeed, and Javier's still there, ready to pick up the pieces. This is a fascinating, I'd say so far, Kirith, it's a shame you're not in it, mate, but this is the best Red Bull Junior race that we've had so far this season. Cannot call this one at the moment.
Those two things might be linked, Andrew.
3 minutes of this one to go through Hawthorns again. This is where we see the commitment from both drivers. This is where we saw Ryan Sandel go around the outside of Trevor Randall a few laps ago. And whoa, Nathan's really wide as they go through Westfield there and down into Dingledale. That was a heart-in-mouth moment for the championship leader.
if I wanted to be really cynical, I probably could say on a pure team basis, Tim could have potentially backed Nathan back more into the pack when their elite battery was only a couple of seconds behind. So I don't know what there really is to fight for now. It's just Tim Clark may as well deny Nathan as many points as possible. There's no real prospect of Nathan finishing lower than second, in my opinion, now.
2 minutes, or just over 2 minutes to go. Ryan Sandel is closing there in 5th place, but not at the rate that he needs to catch this. Oh, he's spun! He's off! He's in the wall!
Big penalty as well.
A huge off for Ryan Sandel and huge implications in the championship. He's going to lose. Well, he's already lost a position to Trevor Randall. He's about to lose a position to Toby as well, Toby Nichols. But what a mistake here at a crucial time, and so unlike Ryan Sandel.
It's one of those corners, and you'll have known it yourself from driving it. If you just take a bit too much of the exit and you dig those outside wheels in, the car will come around. It doesn't really matter which car you're in. Ryan's got a penalty now. He's behind Toby. Although Toby... a bit glitch on my side.
Yep, same here.
Devastating for Ryan. Great news for Nathan.
Absolutely. Is that the moment that Nathan Maximin put one hand on the trophy to become a 2-time Club 100 Gran Turismo Sports Series winner? And now Ryan Sandel's got to do it all over again and deal with 1.3 seconds worth of penalties. And Toby Nichols has fallen off there, and well, that's a stroke of luck for Ryan as Callum Brule comes through the shot drifting, but he's still got to get rid of that 1.3, Kirith.
Yeah, that is a big penalty to burn in these cars. This is going to be the last lap.
It is indeed. Tim Clark is just going round Surtees now.
Tim Clark going purple. Tim Clark purple that time.
Well, yeah, if he's got something in reserve, if he can get a fastest lap, it will help his teammate. It will deduct another point away from Nathan Maximin and reduce the losses for Ryan Sandel in this race.
I think, Andrew, I just wonder if there's a case of obviously both Nathan and Ryan racing 24 hours this weekend. Their practice for this race would have been very different to previous rounds. And if we're honest, Ryan's just, even through qualifying, has never looked as comfortable as he normally looks here. So maybe not quite on top of it, but great drive from Tim Clark.
Absolutely. Tim Clark is going to come round to win at Brands Hatch. A home victory for Tim Clark over the start-finish line. And there is the checkered flag. Tim Clark takes the win, takes the 25 points. Second place for Nathan Maximin. I think Luke Battersby did get rid of his penalty just over the line there in third. Fourth for Javier. Fifth for Trevor Randall. Good finish there for Trevor. Will Ryan get rid of all of his penalty before the line? Yes, he will, but he'll lose sixth on the line. Toby Nichols gets it on the line. Seventh for Ryan Sandel. That is not the result that we would have expected. Callum Brule in eighth. Jack Cameron Drayton in ninth. But what a victory. And a well-deserved victory, if I may say so, Kirith, for Tim Clark.
Yeah, very popular driver in the paddock. He was my teammate for season 2, and I probably learned some of the most I've ever learned in GTsport being his teammate. He's a master of the tyres, so he's always been strong in the tyre races. But in the race, where for him to win this in a very high downforce car, that is a huge drop, Tim Clark. And I think everyone will be very pleased about that.
Absolutely. We're going to take a short break on the commentary here and be back in a little while for race number 2, the final race of this 4th season of the Club 100 Gran Turismo Sports Series. We'll be at the Nürburgring on the Grand Prix Strecke, and we'll be in the Group 4 cars. We'll be back in a bit. Back here on the DDMM YouTube channel. Hope you're having a good evening. Andrew Mather and Kirith Kalirai on commentary duties for the final week of the Club 100 Gran Turismo Sport Series. Kirith hopefully can still hear me. Sum up for me, mate. That first race, what an absolute cracker to kick things off here tonight.
Just so the context as well with what Ryan needed to do, and if we go back, I think he must have had. Obviously, you have 10 minutes of quali. There's no tie wear, so you can get quite a few laps in. But with his last lap still to go, going over the line, he was in 6th place, and he couldn't improve, which is very unlike Ryan. And then he had the false start on the line as well, which cost him, crucial positions. He was always on the back foot, and it really unlike Ryan. But I don't want to take anything away from Tim Clark's drive. I thought it was absolutely superb, and it looked like Nathan really did go for it at the end when Ryan had moved up a few positions, and Tim Clark was able to withhold that pressure. Brutal combination though in those high downforce cars. You want to maximise the track exit, but as we all know at Brands Hatch, if you take just a little bit too much, then you go spinning around. So great stuff by Tim Clark.
Yeah, absolutely. So just trying to work out the points and what that all means. Did we confirm who got the fastest lap in that race as well? Did Nathan hold on to it?
I believe it was Nathan, but I think I should be able to look at the race results.
So
it was Nathan, yes.
In that case then, Nathan Maximin scored 21 points in that last race. And a 7th placed finish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 9 points. So 12 points gained by Nathan in that last race. Extends his lead to 14. So doing the quick maths now, that means he needs to score 13 points or more. That's 4th place, if I'm not mistaken. So 4th place in this last race of the season wins in the title.
Yeah, so Ryan will have to win, take home the 25, ideally take home the fast lap as well. We have been to this track before in this championship, I believe in season 2. I remember, and in fact, Ryan was on fire there. I remember a double overtake he did on Super GT and myself. It wouldn't surprise me if he won that race actually. So Ryan has great form at this track in race 2. I don't recall Nathan actually being up there in that race, so it's not completely over. But there's if we're real, there's a mountain to climb for Ryan here. Interesting what the psychology is like. Does it put pressure on Ryan, or does it actually free him because he knows he's almost got nothing to lose? He may as well go for broke here. Maybe even try a different strategy.
And he has got the advantage of the reverse grid as well. He'll line up 3rd on the grid on the 2nd row. So I think he's just got to give it his all, hasn't he? He's got to leave it all on the table. Let's just catch up with some of your comments. Thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. This is some great times to have so many people in the chat. Hello to Callum McIntyre, who's tuned back in. Thank you very much, mate. Hello to I think we had a new subscriber. I don't know if it was yourself, Callum. But it was a cow. I know that. But thank you very much. Hello to Baz, back as ever. Essa, a regular in the chat. Stephen Brewell, Dotinator, Paul Stanford's in the chat once more. All really enjoying the race. Thank you very much, Baz, saying superb stuff and great commentary. Dual commentary brings so much more to any race. I wholeheartedly agree. And hello to Herbtree as well. He says good evening there, and a well done from Trevor Randall in the chat to Tim Clark. And as I say, yeah, it was great to see Tim Clark take that race victory. It's been long overdue, I feel.
Yeah, he's always been up there, hasn't he, as a driver in the championship, but he's never quite been in the Ryan Nathan Super GT tier. But that's a real marker in the sand there, because that was a difficult combo, and he came out on top. Yeah, completely agree, Barry, about dual commentary. We were at a race at the weekend, and I think the dual commentator there certainly did add lots of opportunities. If you are new here to the Double Dash Motorsport Media channel, do feel free to drop a like and subscribe. I don't know if you know what's coming up next on the channel, Andrew, but it always seems to be a smorgasbord of motorsport activity here.
Next week, we've got the next round of the iRacing Legends of Club 100 and BUKC Championship, and an event I'm really looking forward to seeing. It's back at Montreal, which was one of the tracks that we had for Season 1 last year in 2020. Always produces good racing, bit of drama as well. The Wall of Champions waiting to pick off any any drivers, suspecting drivers there. So yeah, that'll be on next Wednesday, and we've got a various couple of other things lined up as well, including, if all the videos worked and I can get around to editing it, a vlog from Donington Park last week, where we had a bit of a track day, or track evening I should say, the first one in a few years, and yeah, it was a good lot of fun.
Exciting. Insight here from Nathan Maximin in the chat. Well done, Nathan, again for your victory at the weekend. Just for inside info, it is impossible to get close to Red Bull Junior cars to people who are similar pace. So that may explain some of the closing stages of the race there.
Yeah, the front washout, I suspect, quite high in that car. Almost a little bit like the Indy 500, if any of you caught that at the weekend. But
I don't know how... Sorry, I don't know how represented these times are at the moment. Obviously, it's just practice, but people are 3-4 laps in, and Javier Garcia is almost a second clear of anyone else, which looks ominous. Yeah,
Javier looking like he's got some good pace there in the BMW, a car well suited to this circuit, of course. And we should say as well, it is the Nürburgring 24 Hours this weekend, which I'm very much looking forward to following and having a watch of. I always seem to think I should be revising for an exam on that one, because that seemed to be what I always used to do kind of in my uni years. It would be Nürburgring 24-hour weekend, and there'd be some exams coming up. But thank you very much to, I think I just saw Dino has just subscribed to the channel, so thank you very much, mate. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying your time here. And I know we've mentioned it a couple of times before, but seeing as Luke runs their logos on this livery, Bucknell Park are back open for bookings. Happened this morning. Absolutely fantastic news, and they'll be taking bookings, or they are taking bookings for the 30th of June onwards. And I think also very appreciated news, Kirith, that we ourselves as a Club 100 community heading back there in the not too distant future for some racing in Club 100.
Yeah, I think we were all... It was a bad feeling, wasn't it, when all the news was coming out about Buckmore and the planning permission, and then coming off furlough and not opening the track. It wasn't a nice feeling. But I don't know about you, I did have an optimism deep down that surely they would reopen. It would be an absolute tragedy if it wasn't so. I'm very happy that Buckmore's back. My favourite track in the UK, personally. Yeah,
absolutely. As I say, we'll be back there racing in the summer. But moving on from that, it is final time, and the final race of the Club 100 Gran Turismo Sport season for Season 4. Round number 8 here at the Nürburgring is the reverse grid race. Jack Cameron Drayton on pole position, Callum Brule second, Ryan Sandel third. Has to win this race. Toby Nichols fourth, Trevor Randall fifth, Javier Gorostidi Turner sixth, Luke Battersby, Nathan Maximin and Tim Clark wrapping out this field. 30 minutes now on the clock here for the drivers. The lights coming on here at the Nürburgring. The standing start is go, and it's a very, very even start at the front of the field. Jack Cameron Drayton gives the Schumacher chop straight across, but Callum Brule's got underneath that. He's not been phased by the attack there as they go into the first hairpin on lap number 1, and it's a very good start there for Callum Brule. He will lead through the infield section.
Well, I'm not in a good position here around the outside. He could lose a couple of positions if he's not careful there. And Luke Battersby is going to dive up the inside.
Yeah, so the championship contender has gone backwards here at the start of this one. That is not what he needed. And it looks like Nathan Maximin is already right on his tail.
Treviso leaving his nose in there. Great opportunity here, Andrew, for Callum Brule and Jack Cameron Drayton to really make a statement. Jack Cameron Drayton has looked very strong in these races in the early parts, and has kind of faded. Callum Brule came, unfortunately, last in the last race we had at Bathurst, so we'll definitely want to make amends for that one.
He definitely will. It's very, very close here in this field of 9. Callum Brule trying to break away. It's a long, long race here, and there's some excruciating corners on the tyres. It's quite a technical circuit in places. It's the Nürburgring Grand Prix Loop, or the Grand Prix Strecke to give it its German name. As up the inside there is Luke Battersby going for third and getting third place, and in fact Toby Nichols has forced his way through. So Toby Nichols up to second place, third for Luke Battersby, fourth for Jack Cameron Drayton. Ryan Sandel trying to force his way through as well, and going to the inside there, having a little look into the chicane, thinks better of it. Nathan Maximin trying to get involved as well. This is all playing into the hands, though, Kirith, of Callum Brule. He's going to have a nice second in the lead of this race as we go over the end of lap 1.
Yeah, dare I say, if it continues like this, it kind of reminds me of my race at Monza, where I was able to kind of break clear a little bit as everyone was fighting behind. But the added dynamic of this race is Ryan is going to look to the inside, Jack Cameron not going to make it. Everyone will be really saving their tyres, and very wide for Jack Cameron, and really saving their fuel as well. You can't afford to go all out here. You'll just pay for it at the end of the race. Very exciting, the battle for fourth here as Ryan shoots across.
Ryan Sandel trying to go around the outside there, is really sticking it to a big move, and he's got through. He had to make that work. He's run a little bit wide though, and Nathan Maximin's now alongside Jack Cameron Drayton. Is he going to try and go for the big send round the outside? If he's brave, he'll have the advantage into the next right-hander, and he's got it. Really, really good stuff from the championship leader and arguably champion-elect, and he's right on the rear bumper of his title rival.
Absolutely great stuff there, and Nathan goes up the inside.
He does indeed, through the hairpin, and he's got it. Oh, is that it? Is
Big
that
statement.
the check move by Nathan Maximin? He's now in front of Ryan Sandel in a race where, Nathan Maximin is in his championship position. He needs fourth place or better. It doesn't matter what Ryan Sandel does in that situation. But right now, Ryan Sandel is behind Nathan Maximin, not in front. And now surely Nathan Maximin will just try and hold Ryan Sandel up as much as possible, let the top three get away, and give Ryan no opportunity to gain these points back.
Nathan can just battle all race long. It's going to only eat into Ryan's tyres, eat into his fuel, and Callum, Toby, and Luke Battersby getting further and further away. So Nathan is sitting in the pound seats right now.
He definitely is. 2.4 seconds is the gap at the front of the field. Let's have a look at that tyre usage. It's pretty good at this stage of the race for Nathan. A little bit ahead, a bit of wear there for.
Look at Nathan weaving around. Got to be careful he doesn't do anything over the line.
Yeah, as we saw, Nathan Maximin did get a penalty last week for driver standards. Down the inside goes Ryan Sandel. He knows he had to make the move. He's made it stick. What an overtake, Kirith.
But think of the tyres. If Nathan gets back again, Ryan will have to keep going back. And Nathan, it doesn't matter to Nathan if Ryan and Nathan finish 7th and 8th in this race. Not a problem for Nathan at all.
Absolutely. It's great fun watching these two fantastic drivers scrap it out. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, Toby Nichols attacking Callum Brule here, going for the lead. Teams Championship to play for as well. Luke Battersby's down the inside. Oh, fantastic stuff. Toby Nichols holds around the outside, racing everywhere you look tonight here at the Nürburgring.
And Nathan and Ryan are pretty much neck and neck on fuel and on tyres. But it's just going to be an absolute thorn in Ryan's side here. He's not going to give up at all. And you've got a very hungry Jack Cameron Drayton, Treviso, Javier behind, and Tim Clark as well, the race winner.
Sorry, Kieran. Absolutely fantastic move through the Schumacher S by Toby Nichols. Let's have another look at that one. He got on the outside. Respect to Brule, he gave him racing room, and Toby Nichols another round the outside manoeuvre. In fact, Brule got a little bit on the grass there, and they kept it just about within track limits. But a fantastic overtake, and Toby Nichols, I think for the first time this season, leads a race here in the Club 100 Gran Turismo Sports Series. I think also, yes, Luke Battersby slipped through into second place, so down to third for Callum Brule. Still fourth place is Ryan Sandel, defending again from Nathan Maximin, who's trying everything to try and get back in front here. I don't know where to look, Kirith. There's racing and overtakes and battles all over.
Yeah, it's just, if you look at Tim Clark's fuel, he's got significantly more at this stage than Ryan and Nathan, which is the kind of comparison. So I think for the championship, if Nathan keeps doing this, unless something goes drastically wrong, he bites off a bit too much, or he backs up the pack too much and actually gets a hit from behind, or is too aggressive, gets a penalty, or Ryan could do something really unorthodox on the strategy, because if Ryan could do a big undercut, then how would Nathan respond? Because ultimately, Andrew, Ryan isn't that far away from the lead of this race. It's only 3.3 seconds, and the top 3 drivers, if we're honest, aren't drivers that we've seen winning races before. So, Ryan's still in this, but every minute that ticks by, the odds stack up against him.
Yeah, I get a feeling this lap, if he can get clear of Nathan, it is huge in the context of this race. Remember, with always wide, Toby Nichols, and we're going to have to focus on this for a moment as Luke Battersby tries to get through past Toby Nichols. This is where Toby Nichols took the lead one lap ago, and he holds on to it through the Schumacher S. He made that error into the spoon hairpin. So the situation in terms of the championship, irrespective of what Ryan Sandel achieves in this race, even if it's a win and a fastest lap, as long as Nathan Maximin finishes in 4th place or higher, he is the winner of season number 4 of the Club 100 Gran Turismo Sports Series. So at the moment, he is in championship winning position, because Ryan Sandel is only in 4th place, side by side between Callum Brule and Luke Battersby. He's going to give it touring car out there.
So Luke Battersby is the driver to watch here. Luke Battersby is burning fuel like there's no tomorrow. He is the driver here going hell for leather. If Ryan can get past it, this is huge.
Yeah,
he might get the slip from Callum.
They've really backed each other up now, and now Ryan Sandel's right in the mix. He's up the inside of and bumping each other down the straight.
Nathan's going to go for it. Nathan's going to go for it.
4 wide. Surely that's not going to work. Oh, there's Colin the Cones being destroyed everywhere. But Ryan Sandel's down the inside trying to look for second place here. On Callum Brule, can he get it stuck on the inside? He's got it. But as you say, Kirith, how much is this torturing the Viper's tyres? Nathan Maximin's trying to fight through as well. He's there in 4th place now.
Big
He's got
moment
ahead
for the
Luke
championship.
Battersby. Oh,
Callum Brule and Nathan came together in the last race, and Nathan got a penalty. So I'm not saying there's bad blood, but there's been some history there, and Callum is not going to make it easy. Callum, my teammate, not going to make it easy for Nathan. And if Ryan can drive off here in the sunset, he has actually looked after his tyres quite well, and the fuel as well, to be honest. In fact, Ryan's fuel is one of the best in the race. So
yeah, Nathan Maximin down the inside of Callum Brule. Sorry, Kirith, just to cut across you there. So Nathan Maximin up to 3rd. So he's in one of those positions now. It doesn't matter what happens ahead of him or behind of him. He is in championship winning position. So it's all over to Ryan Sandel now. This gets really difficult now for Ryan, because it's in a position, think back to the 2016 Formula 1 World Championship where Nico Rosberg was in full control and Lewis Hamilton was trying to back the pack up, trying to get other drivers to overtake Rosberg. It's almost getting to that point now for Ryan there. He's got to make sure that the likes of Callum Brule and the drivers further behind get back in front of Nathan Maximin, otherwise he's going to be runner-up.
I think, Andrew, Ryan will be scanning down the drivers list on the left-hand side and just looking at that list and thinking, who are the drivers that are going to get those positions ahead of Nathan and give me the buffer I need on the points? Because the drivers up there at the moment aren't the drivers that you usually see at the front of the race near the end. The drivers that you normally see there, Treviso, Tim Clark, recently Javier Grosjean-Turner, are right at the back of this race, albeit not a huge amount of time behind. It's all fairly compressed at the moment.
And you've got to think as well, we're saying that about backing the pack up. He's actually still going to go down the road and try and overtake Toby Nichols, who's doing a fantastic job at the front of this pack to try and maximise the points and get the full 26.
Yeah, fastest lap as well with Toby, so Toby's looking good. But if you look at the fuel, Toby's burning it as well. I still think there could be some twists and turns this race. There's a big battle going on behind. The battle for 5th is huge. Yeah,
let's try and have a look at that now. Luke Battersby and Jack Cameron Drayton going side by side as they run there into the Ford curve. Tim Clark.
Yeah, Ryan really needs Tim Clark here. He really needs Tim Clark to get past these two.
Good evening to Fafnir, a new subscriber to the channel. Thank you for joining us here on DDMM as Tim Clark's trying to work his way past Jack Cameron Drayton now, Jack CD.
And importantly, Andrew, Tim Clark, out of all the drivers in this race, currently is the best on fuel and the best on...
Luke Battersby off and spins at the Schumacher S. He got forced out wide there. I don't think he'll be too pleased about that. He was on the outside of Jack Cameron Drayton. There was a slight bit of contact, and it just forced the Renault Megane out wide. And my goodness, Tim Clark was lucky there, Kirth, not to get collected up in the incident.
Yeah, Luke Battersby has been on the chat, and I've never seen words like this in this championship. He says thank you, maybe with a drop of sarcasm, and then typical to Jack Cameron Drayton, so no love lost there. But I was saying earlier, Luke Battersby was going hell for leather, not really caring about the fuel of the tyres. Tim Clark has twice the amount of fuel that Luke Battersby has now, so that's how much fuel he's managing to save. Tim Clark could come to Ryan's aid here.
He could indeed. So let's have a review of the situation, because we're getting to that point of the race where in previous weeks we have seen drivers start to pit. We've seen it either be the lap before 15 minutes, on 15 minutes, or the lap afterwards. Toby Nichols has a level of wear, as you'd expect, pushing hard at the front of the field, and a good amount of fuel left. Ryan Sandel there in second place. Better on tyres, I'd say. In fact, ignore that for a moment, because Nathan Maximan is really attacking the rear axle of the Viper there, of Ryan Sandel. Has still got a good amount of tyre life left on that Mustang as well. This is good for Team Orange in terms of constructors as well. Very close out there. Callum Bruhl has had quite a hard time on his tyres, so you'd imagine that he would be looking to pit at the end of this lap. He's got the attentions of the other BMW, Jack Cameron.
Oh, Nathan goes for it. Nathan goes for the move.
He does indeed, and he's got the move. And once again, puts Ryan Sandel in a very awkward position in terms of this championship. He's now ahead of the Team Blue Dodge Viper and can control his race now. Surely Nathan Maximum goes into over-defensive mode once again and tries to eke out that gap, not just for his own championship, but to help his teammate. This is big.
Andrew, or does he? Because Toby is so poor on fuel. Toby is going to be in the pits and get overtaken, I'm sure. And that means that Nathan and Ryan are in the lead of this race. So what does Nathan have to gain by backing up that pack and making it a little bit of a lottery?
Yeah,
if Nathan wins this race, he wins.
Yeah. And he could just cruise up to the back of Toby Nichols now. Let's see what happens, because we're on 15 minutes. Looks like GTP Toby, with the GT Planet logos on his car, is going to carry on, as is his teammate Nathan Maximan. Team Orange sitting on 1-2 at the moment.
Callum Bruhl in the pits.
Carries on, and Callum Bruhl does pit. So into pit lane goes Bruhl. As I said, he needed to do that because his tyres looked in a pretty poor state. Jack Cameron Drayton is looking pretty good on tyres and okay on fuel. And I think is Javier in as well.
He is, yeah.
One of the Team White cars is in. Trevor Randall, unfortunately, is not having a good race here. It's a struggle out there in his Lightning McQueen livery. Looks fantastic, I must say so. Pounding around the Nürburgring, but not quite sure what happened to Trevor out there to put him that far off the back.
I think he struggles on the pad, but for Callum, Callum's going to undercut this group at the back, and he wasn't a million miles behind. So how powerful will the undercut be?
Yeah, we'll find out in the next couple of laps. Just checking in with your comments. Thank you to Baz68, who's given us a subscribe this evening. To the Schumacher S is never a wise move. Well, we have seen it be pulled off. I think it's one of those that you have, as you say, you have to be a bit more brave than wise. Yeah, that was in reference to the incident that has put Luke Battersby at the back of this field. Let's have a look at the gaps though. 0.8 of a second between the two Team Orange cars, with 14 minutes of this race and the season remaining.
Interesting who jumps into the pits at the end of this lap. Surely Toby's not going to have enough for one more lap. Does Ryan do the opposite to Nathan? I don't know. Let's see. Find out in about 10 seconds.
Yeah, he's got to throw some kind of play in here. He's got to do something to mix it up, and sure enough, the race leader does come into the pits. What an
Oh, so does Ryan.
And yeah, Ryan does as well, so he does the opposite to Nathan Maximin. I think he had to do that for me, Kirith. He had to do something different. If he was just going to pit at the same time as Nathan Maximin, he was just going to get the same result, being stuck behind the Ford. So into the pits comes, and Jack Cameron Trayton's in as well. So Ryan Sandel Ruswald is in. Jack Cameron Trayton is in. GTP Toby Nichols is in.
Tim Clark stays out.
Let's see what happens with Callum Brule, because as you say, Kirith, he pitted the lap before, went for the undercut, used his tyres quite heavily in the first part of this race, but was pitted with 15 minutes and 30 seconds of the race to go, so it was a manageable length of time remaining in the race. Is Callum Brule going to jump all of them? It's going to be very, very tight between Ryan Sandel. Ryan Sandel has jumped Toby Nichols in the pit stop, so that looks to be on fuel, Kirith, that we saw that there was a lot of fuel usage from Toby's BMW, and it's cost him a position.
Important moment for Ryan there. Does Callum back himself to catch up with Toby? Toby will have fresher tyres at the end of the race, but if you can get in that slip, that would make it interesting. If Ryan needs all the cars he can get up there. I was going to say that Ryan could undercut Nathan, but Nathan's previous lap on lap 7 before this one was only 0.03 of a second off his fast lap in the race. So Nathan has been had a very consistent pace, but this is really the key moment of the race right here, where Nathan's going to come out. He was slightly less good on fuel, so he's going to spend a little bit more time in the pits.
Absolutely. 11 minutes and 45 seconds to go. Tim Clark's still out there as well. He could still be a feature in this one.
Tim Clark is significantly better than Nathan on fuel. Tim Clark has double the fuel of Nathan, but he's 6 seconds behind. So there's 6.6 seconds going in. Let's see what that gap is coming out.
Into the pits comes the race leader, Nathan Maximin. Is he 11.5 minutes away from winning his second Club 100 Gran Turismo Sports Series in a row? He took Season 3 after finishing runner-up in the first 2 seasons, but taking the O plates in both of those seasons, which we're hoping to bring you next week, of course, as well. Entry list to be confirmed for that one, but make sure you subscribe to the DDMM channel to make sure you've got all of the notifications for that one. It looks like, has Tim Clark stayed out? No, he hasn't. No, Tim Clark has come in as well. Fuel going in on the Mustang now. Where is...
Looks good for Ryan for me. It's always difficult to tell, but Nathan's coming out at slow speed. Ryan goes past.
Ryan Sandel does indeed go past. So Ryan Sandel is now doing what he needs to do. Lead the race, win the race, get fastest lap, and hope that Nathan Maximin finishes lower than 4th position.
So there are 7 cars within 6.5 seconds of the lead. The only way Ryan can win this championship is to back Nathan up. That is the only way.
So
and he's got Tim Clark close by for company.
So it very much is like 2016 Abu Dhabi now. Those of you remember back to that one. That was the race where Lewis Hamilton got himself in a little bit of bother with the Mercedes team management. He was winning the race. Nico Rosberg was in 2nd place. But he needed Sebastian Vettel, if my memory serves me correctly, to get past. As runs a little bit wide there, does Ryan, and that's offered the opportunity to Nathan to get right on his rear bumper again. He's not going to try anything through the Schumacher S. That would be way too risky in this situation.
I'm really interested to see just how elbows out Ryan gets here. These two were dicing on the track over 24 hours for real at the weekend. Nathan got the upper hand there, winning the whole thing and setting the fastest lap. Ryan will definitely want to get his own back here for pride. But he's got the championship at play and he can't win it by just winning this race.
You're absolutely correct. Surely Ryan goes ultra defensive here. No, he leaves a little bit of a lane open, but there's not enough of a speed differential for Nathan to get through. And all the while, GTP Toby starts to close in. But surely this is again where the team aspect comes into play. I don't see Toby Nichols overtaking his own teammates to I'm saying this, I'm getting deja vu here, because we had this situation last week and Toby Nichols did overtake, but never mind that, because Nathan Maximan's back down the inside, trying to retake the lead of the race. He's got the inside line, he's going to have position, and he goes back in. No, but look at this, Ryan Sandler fights it in there, keeps his nose. What brilliant racing between the two championship contenders. Have you ever seen anything like this? They're still side by side as they go round the Mercedes arena, and somehow, Kirith, Ryan still leads this race.
Oh, he's gone very wide. Look how close Toby is now. Toby goes up the inside of his own teammate. This is insane. He might go for the lead here.
He is going to go for the lead. We saw a little bit of this last week at Bathurst, the two Team Orange cars trading positions back and forth when we didn't expect them to, and we're seeing it again here at the Nürburgring. And look at this, Tim Clark's now getting involved. It's the two teams going for both drivers and championship.
Three
wide going into the hairpin, and Nathan Maximan's got down the inside of the Dunlop curve, and Ryan cuts back, and they're still side by side as they go towards the Schumacher S. This is where we've seen incidents before in this race, and Nathan Maximan somehow has got back into the lead of this race.
Ryan will be on the phone right now saying, Tim Clark, I need you up here ASAP. Right, big move for Ryan up the inside. That is aggressive.
Whoa, round the outside. GTP Toby just went round the outside of both championship contenders. Now this again plays into Nathan's hands. Toby being up front is okay. It's taking more points away from Ryan Sandel there. Tim Clark watching in fourth. 6 minutes and 50 seconds to go. And now it's all on Ryan Sandel. He's got to get past these two Team Orange cars.
If you're watching right now, if you're watching live, you're watching this on playback, this is the best racing you will see on GT Sport. These are some of the best drivers in the world. And how amazing is this? Team Orange and Team Blue, 6.5 minutes to go. And Nathan Maximan in the lead of the championship, but this is maybe getting slightly uncomfortable. He would have liked to have made it more straightforward than this. And I think Tim Clark is the one to watch here.
As Nathan Maximan goes defensive down the inside, Ryan Sandel round the outside again. This is where he stuck his nose in before, and Nathan Maximan's having none of it this time. Chops across, makes sure he stays in second place. So
releasing Toby.
So once again, Nathan Maximan trying to allow his teammate Toby Nichols to get as big a lead as possible. Apologies to the drivers further back. I think there's a great battle going on once again between Callum Brawl and Jack Cameron Drayton, but we can't take our eyes off this because this is key for both championships here in lobby number 1. We'll try and catch up with lobby number 2 as well. Don't remember, we've not forgotten about that going on the DW Media channel over in the second lobby tonight. There's a promotion battle into this championship for season 5 going on there, side by side again through the Dunlop curve between the two championship rivals, and Tim Clark continues to just sit on the rear gunner position. He doesn't want to overtake his teammates at the moment. He wants to be in the right place at the right time to take points off the Team Orange cars when the championship situation allows him to, Kirith, but that's simply not the case at the moment.
Yeah, a couple of permutations here. That battle behind you reference has been absolutely attritional. Even Treviso has caught back up to that pack, and Javier Grossinterno has emerged victorious, but he's too far behind to make a difference in the front pack. And the other thing is, they're not going to get a new fastest lap here. They're lapping in the 2:06s, 2 seconds off the fastest. So GTP Toby is going to have that fastest lap come the end of the race, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, so the tyres have already had their fresh life taken out of them. Too much energy put through. Oh, I don't think I could take another 4.5 minutes of this, Kirith. I'm very, very glad you're with me on comms here tonight.
I mean, what a huge drive from Toby. We saw Tim Clark in race 1 taking that winner. I don't want to see the second driver in that team, but you know, the driver on lesser points, and Toby here also really stepping up. Looks like Ryan might send a huge one, thinks about it. And you know, like I mentioned, Nathan doesn't like to be on the team comms during the race. That's not how he operates. So he won't be able to bark orders down the phone to Toby, whereas Ryan and Tim Clark will be in constant communication. But Ryan doesn't have enough chess pieces on the board, does he, Andrew?
No, it's getting really, really tricky for him. Hello to One Step After Another. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, and what a time to do so. We've had 4 weeks of fantastic competition here in the Club 100 Gran Turismo Sports Series. And we're finishing with quite the climax here at the Nürburgring. Toby Nichols, GTP Toby, continues to lead here in the BMW, in the Group 4s. All of these drivers have tuned these cars to their liking, or in terms of the choice, taken the ones they prefer. Worked with them over the past 4 weeks to get themselves in this position, and it's still, as I say, Toby Nichols ahead of Nathan Maximum there in second place. Ryan Sandel
Toby tyres are going to... Sorry, Andy, Toby tyres are going to fall off. His tyres are the worst out of this pack. So the way he kind of falls back through this group is going to be very interesting. Trying to work out how many laps we'll have to go.
See, looking back a little bit there, Javier Gorostidi Turner is looking to finish his first season in the Premier Class with a top 5. Another top 5, but has penalties to deal with. And Jack Cameron Drayton's right there in 6th place. 2.5 minutes to go. So.
Big defensive move there by Nathan.
Oh,
you can see Toby's now going to be sliding around
again. So
what's
coming over the line? I think they're going to have 2 laps, Kirith, aren't they? They're going to have 2 laps here.
Yes.
To sort this out amongst themselves, and once again Nathan Maximum goes defensive. That's him not trying to overtake his teammate, but once again Ryan Sandel's trying to stick it around the outside. Nathan's got to get across, he does, and blocks the lane.
I wonder if you're Ryan Sandel, do you kind of unleash Tim Clark at this stage and say, Tim, have a go?
Yeah, try and
I'll
mix it
save
up.
my tyres a bit. I think 2 things haven't worked out in Ryan's favour this race. The first was the Luke Battersby moment, because Luke was well up there in the race, and the other one, dare I say, is if I was racing today, I might have been able to be in this pack. So again, Ryan's had the numbers against him, but the racing here is superb, and I want to see what happens in the next 2 laps with Toby's tyres.
Little mistake there from Ryan, and that's going to offer Tim Clark the opportunity to go through. Surely they've got to take a quick decision here, Kirith, as to what they do next.
I think Tim Clark has, his tyres are in the best state out of anyone in this pack, I think. So
through the Schumacher S, just over 60 seconds in this race to go. Toby Nichols continuing to look here for what I'm pretty sure would be his first victory at this level. Finished second last week at Bathurst. Can he go one step better this week here at the Nürburgring?
It should be a huge result for Toby, another very popular driver in the paddock. Not easy being Nathan's teammate, I imagine, as he gets pushed to... Oh, that was interesting to go straight through on my screen.
Yeah, same here. A little bit of a glitch there, but they're fine for the moment. The Team Blues are going to switch back round. So Ryan Sandel is allowed back through by Tim Clark. Nathan Maximum defends again. We're going on to the final lap here at the Nürburgring. It's still all to play for the win, the round and the championship. Both championships, in fact, because of course we've got the teams battle as well, which apologies I've not got the maths for, but it's going to be very, very close indeed.
It's a privilege.
He just says madness. Sorry, Kirith.
These drivers are driving on the edge of grip, of getting on the throttle, of managing the tyres, of managing the fuel. It's absolutely incredible to watch as Ryan goes up the inside of Nathan.
He does indeed.
He loves making that move.
And he gets the position, but this is the other thing as well. Remember, it's 4th place that Nathan Maximum needs. It doesn't matter what happens ahead of him or behind of him. As long as Nathan Maximum is in 4th place, he will be champion side by side again between the 2 of them.
Ooh.
Nathan's on the grass, and Ryan's going to get underneath and get through. Side by side between Nathan and Tim now. They bang doors to doors. They're going to be 3 wide. Guys, you're killing me here. This is unbelievable. Ryan's got his hazards on. They're 3 wide through the Dunlop curve. Somehow they've all survived. And they're still
going round. The only way Nathan doesn't win is if he ends up in the gravel. That's the only way he doesn't win this championship. And he's battling and he's come through and he's won that battle there to come in second. Superb.
This is unbelievable. This is going to be up there in the top 10 DDMM races. that we've commentated on in 2021. I'm sure of that. Toby Nichols has got a 1 second lead now and could be on for his first victory in the Premier Class here in the Club 100 Gran Turismo Sports Series, and what a victory it would be. Nathan Maximin is holding there in second place, and surely now there's nothing Ryan Sandel can do. He's thrown absolutely everything at Nathan Maximin here tonight in this second race. It's been fantastic to watch. Defending again is Nathan Maximin into the chicane. The Team Blues are going to switch round again, but round the final corner, what a victory, what a drive, what a piece of teamwork for GTP Toby. Toby Nichols wins at the Nürburgring, but Nathan Maximin takes second place and is your winner of Season 4 of the Club 100 Gran Turismo Sports Series. Third is Ryan Sandel. He will have to play runner-up again. 2 runner-ups in a row for Season 3 and Season 4. Tim Clark, a fantastic teammate, finishes there in 4th place. An utterly fantastic race there, Kirith. What a job by Toby Nichols, GTP Toby.
Absolutely. I mean, just I'm sweating. How lucky are we, Andrew, just to see these drivers go head to head in this championship? The respect in all these battles. You know, no one was nudged wide into the gravel. People going 3 wide, 4 wide, and you know that team battle at the end, because there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes. A lot of people practicing for this race at the weekend, and you know, as a team, working out the strategy, working out the best cars, working out what to do in tyres. And I have to say, Nathan Maximin is one of the most clinical and ruthless drivers I've ever raced against. His mentality is absolutely spot on. He understands how to drive the cars. He always gets the maximum out of it. He's very, very fair when it comes to racing. Completely well deserved to win the championship. 2 in a row for Nathan. Ryan winning the first 2. I feel like this is a battle that we don't really have in Formula 1. Here we've got 2 of let's be honest, the best drivers in the world at GT Sport going head to head. And not only that, Andrew, but their teammates winning both of the races in this round. I mean, just phenomenal stuff. I just feel lucky to be alive to watch it.
Let's have a look at some of your comments. Essa says, congratulations, Toby. Great racing, Toby, from Paul Stanford as well. Baz68 says, what a race. One of the best I've watched on GT Sport. Our champion, Nathan Maximin, just says one word: insane. That was, yeah, absolutely insane race. A brilliant race. And I'm actually speechless. I'm not quite sure what to say. But yeah, congratulations to Nathan. He takes another victory, another championship, and it really sets things up nicely for the O-Plate next week, which we're hoping to bring again here on the stream. Should work be agreeable and all that business. But yeah, absolutely fascinating stuff, and a privilege to watch here tonight.
Yeah, this championship is really something special. I mean, you know, we have the best drivers. You know, all of us have a real racing background, which I think adds a lot. We've had the sparkle of Super GT, you know, running for 2 seasons. Superb commentary on the Double Dash Motorsport Media channel. Lots of point of view videos as well. It's a really special thing we're going on here. I'm also speechless. It's a privilege to watch that race. I mean, if that isn't an advertisement for racing, frankly, I don't know what is. I mean, that was just edge of your seat, superb, respectful, wheel to wheel. Don't know what's going to happen. Just incredible stuff. That's why we love racing.
Well, I think we're going to wrap things up here tonight. What a way to finish the season. What a way to finish the stream. Congratulations to Nathan Maximin on the championship win. Congratulations to Toby Nichols as well on the race win here tonight at the Nürburgring. If you did enjoy what you've seen tonight, if you did miss anything of not just from tonight's stream, but from previous streams as well, do make sure that you subscribed here to the Double Dash Motorsport Media YouTube channel. As I say, hopefully we've got work schedules pending, the O-Plate for next week, next Tuesday at 9 PM. We definitely will have the next round of the iRacing Legends of Club 100 and BUKC series from Montreal. That will be next Wednesday from 7:15 p.m. and plenty more coming up over the next few weeks. As I say, we're in our big busy period of commentaries at the weekend. We're hoping to bring you more Comms Box live as well. You may have seen some of the content that we put up there from Club 100 earlier in the month. But Kirith, final words from yourself. Thank you very much for joining me here tonight, mate. How have you found it? It's
been a privilege. I mean, obviously, it's disappointing for me not to be able to race with Menjo from the weekend, but my first time doing co-commentary. Hopefully, I rank up there with your recent co-commentators. That would be nice. But yeah, I've loved it. I mean, the racing has just been superb, and it makes me want to get back on the wheel and get back doing this stuff, because that was just... I am speechless, mate.
It's been great having you, mate. Thank you very much for stepping in and helping out, and I do hope your hand gets back to full strength, and I'll see you at a Club 100 event in the not too distant future. We're going to wrap things up here, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Do subscribe, like, notification bell, all of that business. We'll be back very soon for more action here on the Double Dash Motorsport Media YouTube channel. For tonight, thank you very much for joining us, and goodbye.